Hello, you hardcores. We're joined by Jerry from Ireland. How are you doing, Jerry?
I'm not bad, Ross. What about yourself?
I'm all right, mate. Did you see Big John Fury ranting off on Boxing Social?
What's he saying? No, I didn't see it.
Oh, he's calling Carl Froch a bum and ranting off and effing and blinding. And I don't know what's the matter with him. It's like nobody's allowed to talk the truth or say anything statistically that's true in a conversation with him without him making threats, is it, or carrying off?
It's for a man, a grown man like that. That's really embarrassing behavior. Do you not think so?
Yeah. That picture of him there's his mugshot when he got arrested for taking Opie Sykes' eyeball out. He's a small 5'4", 10 stone man, by the way. Can you
That's like
imagine
a
police? Can you imagine police when they arrested him with that sweater on? Look what it says on his sweater.
hunk.
Pop pop bang.
Brilliant.
Hey, unbelievable, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what like kind of a reputation you'd want, you know, doing that to somebody like half your size. That's the size of me, 5'7.5", like. Um, and what's John Fury, 6'3"? Uh,
I think he's about 6'3", 6'4". He's a 20 stone man minimum, isn't he?
and he's pulling some fella's eyeball out, like, and then he tries to live off that, reputation wise, that, he's this big tough guy, all these fights on the hard road and all that type of stuff. Man's living in fucking fantasy land, like.
Listen, mate. He had the opportunity, right, to fight Mickey Theo. I broke my back up and down country, billboards all over, interviews the lot. He'll fight any man over 50. Mick said, yes, please, I accept your challenge, John. So we
Yeah,
went to work and we put a lot of effort in and we just couldn't get him to the table. We're not the only, Mick wasn't the only one that accepted the challenge. Look, he just wants to be known as this big hard man. But
that's it.
he don't fight anybody. He's been out of jail 9 years. He's not thrown it on. Well, he has thrown a punch. He threw a punch at that perspex, didn't he?
Big tough guy
Big tough guy. He's not to be messed with, Big John.
takes
He,
on pieces of perspex.
yeah, yeah. So and he threw a punch at a telly, didn't he? Jake Paul, who were in another country at the time. Look, the man's a crank. John Fury, you're a crank. And we know you're a bully and you're one of the worst bullies that there's ever. You are the ultimate bully. And you know that I know that, John. So pipe down. Pipe down. You don't mention me, dare you? You don't mention me because he knows. All right, don't you? Mention me. You can mention Carl Froch because he's a gentleman. I'm not a gentleman, John. I've got a terrible, terrible mouth. And I'm crackers just like you. But let me tell you this. Please mention me. Please mention me. Tell you what, I'm going to script here. I'll tear you apart. I'll tear you limb from limb.
Uh,
That's
uh,
how he talks, isn't it?
he does. It's like something out of a pirate film. The way John Fury gets on, like he's playing the role of some bad guy. But I mean, who lives like that? It's not reality. Like the man is like, I don't know. And I don't know if that's what he's like in real life.
Listen, mate, he's
Who's
worse than that. Listen, mate, he's worse than that in real life, mate. He is worse than that in real life. Trust me. Trust
Oh
me.
Jesus.
He's shocking, mate. Do you know what? No wonder Tyson's over there in Saudi hard at way. Tyson could have gone out there last week or this week. We're not even in February yet. Could have gone out there next week. They couldn't wait to get out there to get away from him.
Don't blame him, Russ. Don't blame him.
The man's a cretin, and I'll deal with him tomorrow on my channel when I'm in my office. Right, let's go through. Let's move on from the adventures of Tintin with his hunk sweater on. Look at him, been crying his eyes out. Look, state of him there after being
Poor
arrested.
old
Don't
John.
look so hard there, does he? After knocking a small man about 5'4", poor Opie Sykes. He's all right, Opie. He's a nice fella. Actually, a nice fella. So,
Tell you what, though, Russ,
hey,
he looks a bit of a hunk in that sweater, though.
Hey, look, listen, women love him, men want to be him. I mean, he's a right catch for any woman out there, any John Fury. Has anybody ever seen him with a woman? He's always going on about this and that. I've never seen him with a woman. Has anybody seen John Fury with a woman? Because I haven't. Nobody's seen him have a fight, and nobody's seen him with a woman, yet he's Mr. Macho. Buatsi. Frank Smith's going on about the contract and the suing and all that because Buatsi's not honoured the contract. But didn't they say they were losing money on every show on him? So why don't they just let the kid go?
I think that's just pettiness between Matchroom and
Boxer.
Buatsi with Sky.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
with Boxer, yeah. That's what I reckon. Everything you said there makes perfect sense. Like, let it go. He wasn't a big earner for you guys. Like, what do you really care? Um, that's just, I think, Matchroom. Anything they can do to chip away at Ben Shalom, I think,
Yeah.
just sort of have any time they can get an opportunity, sort of take a shot at them, they're going to do it, because it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere down the line, Matchroom might want to take that Sky spot, but that's just a bit of a forward thinking there. You never know, like.
Do you think Matchroom wanted the cake and eat it, Jerry? They wanted to do darts and all other things with Sky, do the boxing with DAZN, but still have the foot in at Sky in case it don't quite work out with DAZN.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah,
That's what I think. Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm just looking at it from outside here. Why Matchroom never really sue people? So why all of a sudden do they want to flex the muscles on this one when they had all them years working with Sky and blah blah blah? So why would you want to rock the boat on this? I mean,
And
is it that word principle?
they're quite well known as well for not having disputes with their fighters from going to court. Isn't that right?
Well, didn't they build the reputation? And look, if you don't want to work with us, the door's there. Now all of a sudden, Buatsi, I want to go, and they're saying, well, good then, because you don't make us money anyway. We lose on you, and we don't rate you, and blah blah blah. So he goes, and now they want to sue and all that, and behind the scenes. So I don't really get it. I think it's a bit of sour grapes because they still want to control Sky. They still want to be the top dogs. That's how it looks to me.
Yeah. It's very out of character. I can't think of any boxer off the top of my head where they've done that. They've went and sort of made a meal of it, like for no like specific reason really, other than it seems a bit petty, and the whole thing really. And I think there's perhaps a little bit of I could see Matchroom looking to get that Sky spot again at some point in the future. Like,
Can you?
yeah,
I can. I can. Okay, how do you see that fight going? Buatsi and Dan Azeez, Jerry.
I reckon I kind of fancy Buatsi for that, but he's never really been a fighter that's really appealed to me. Do you know what I mean? Certainly in any of the opponents that I've seen him face, like he's not really excited me. Like, so. But I think he is talented, like, and I think he's got good skills. Um, so I think I would put my money on him in that fight.
Dan Azeez, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
What about you?
I'm gonna go Buatsi on points.
Oh no, I'm saying Buatsi as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're saying Buatsi or Azeez? You're going for Buatsi.
Buatsi. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go Buatsi points. I think he's the more accomplished fighter. But I think Dan Azeez has had a harder road to the position he's in than Joshua Buatsi. That's what I think.
so he's taking more punishment. You think?
Yeah, I think he's took more punishment. I think he's a little bit older as well. But I respect Dan Azeez more than Buatsi. But I think Boatsi's got more in his locker than Dan Azeez.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Buatsi in any real,
Trouble.
you know,
Trouble.
tough fights. Like, so,
He's
I
not
mean
been in a firefight, has he yet? Dan Azeez has. That's the difference.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was saying about. I haven't seen anything from Buatsi where I felt excited, when I'm watching him. He's a very skillful fighter, like, but it's just, uh, do you know what I mean? He kind of was that poster boy for Matchroom for a bit as well, and they kept on bigging him up, trying to make him seem a bit more, or like, he's gonna be this big, all great singing, dancing, next big thing type of deal, and it's not really worked out like that. And then now he's left and he's with Boxer, and he's definitely not on the tip of everybody's tongue, I don't think.
Okay. Crusher Ben and Dobson, they're going to fight this weekend. Who have you got in that one?
Reluctantly, I'm going to pick Ben for that.
Yeah.
That fella Dobson's been out of the ring over a year. I watched another video recently though where that fella Dobson came out saying Conor Ben's a bum. Now I wouldn't go that far, but I understand what he's saying, and I don't know if that's bravado or not, or if the fella thinks he might have a chance. But I would like nothing better than for this fella Dobson to knock Conor Ben on his ass. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I could see Ben winning either knockout, like 6, 7 round, maybe. Then again, he has lost some of that power. So it could end up another banana skin for him, and he could end up just winning on points. But I definitely think Ben's going to win. It's a safer bet, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. What do you think about the Tank Davis Crusher Ben rumours for the summer in the UK? What do you think to that?
I don't know if that would happen. Do you think that would happen?
No. I don't.
I think that
How could it happen? One's a 135 and one's a 147. So if it did happen, why couldn't they just meet in middle?
do you think Ben could get down to
Well,
somewhere
they won't want to
between
do
that
that,
weight?
would they? They want every advantage, won't they? They won't want to do that. But what we'd
Yeah,
have to, for me, why can't it be fair? Tank put £6 on, you take six off. They don't want that, do they?
no, I don't think he'd win anyway. To be fair,
I don't. They'd let him do. They'd let Christopher Eubank though do all that, wouldn't they?
yeah. And I mean, we all seen the shape of him after he done that.
Yeah, exactly,
I mean,
mate.
and uh, he looked like a corpse on them scales, like in the first Smith fight. Um, I mean, he's his own man, like, and that's he's made that decision himself, like. But I think you're playing with fire when you're coming to sort of messing about with weights like that so drastically.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What do you think about this border control uh, appeal thing and all that? I mean, month's gone now. There's no lined up, is there? It's another month gone without any closure. Do you think there
This
ever
is the
will be
one.
closure?
Yeah, and that's piss poor. This is one thing I would like the border control to actually change our minds on them a bit, and you know be a dog with a bone. Like for this verdict against Ben, um, and stick with it because it might redeem a little bit of credibility if they stick with it. But yourself, they're being buried by the shitstorm from Ben and Eddie Hearn and anything else they can do to discredit the Board of Control's stance on it. But you know, I don't know. I don't know how much more powerful like the Board of Control is to get it over the line, but it's the right thing to do. Like I know Julian sort of said that as well in the past. For all their faults, like it's good that they're sticking by what you know their position is in this whole situation. And to be fair, like this has dragged on so long now. I mean, we're all bored to tears with it. Do you not think so?
Yeah, it's well, he hasn't fought, has he, for 22 months now, has he? Right, when he fights this weekend, he's 22 months without fighting in UK. But he fought in October, didn't he? But the drug situation now is 19, 20 months, isn't it, since the first one? And they can't get any closure on it or deal with it. I mean, is he serving a silent ban in UK? Well, what's going on? There doesn't seem to be any urgency to deal with anything, do they?
No, and that's very suspicious, I think. It's very suspicious. It would be just like them to conceal a silent ban, you know.
Oh, well, they tried to hide Ben's test, Dylan White's test. Look, they're knee deep in it, aren't they? It's what we don't know what's been going on for the last 10 years. And has there been other tests? I mean, look at the situation with Robin Reid. That one were buried. Robin Reid didn't know for 18 months that Kenny Anderson failed a dope test in their fight. He didn't even know. He just thought it was a loss on his record.
That's
He didn't
disgraceful.
even know that. Eh? And when he pulled Eddie about it, he said, well, you were retiring anyway, weren't you? He said, well, if you'd have told me straight away, no, I wouldn't have done because I'd have been in line to fight for the belt, wouldn't I? Against Paul Smith or Tony Dodson, it was one of them two. But as luck would have it, Paul Smith and Dodson fought for the British title. But I feel that Robin Reid should have been told straight away. Because otherwise he wouldn't have retired. He would have had the opportunity to still fight for that belt. Because he got in a position to fight for the belt in the first place, and Anderson failed the dope test. I know it was for Wiz, but so Eddie's got form for it going back 12 years, hasn't he? It's not just a Dylan White situation. I know people are going, what are you bringing that up for now? I'm stating facts, not feelings.
So that just goes to show you that a shitty, sly decision there from Matchroom
Exactly, isn't that right,
had,
Eddie?
had an impact on a man's career.
Yeah, of
And,
course it did, yeah.
he might have had one last bite of the cherry. But look what's happened, you know?
Yeah. Well, look,
So
if you are, well, I'm going to cover this with Kent. I think we've covered this before, but any new listeners who don't know about it, Kent has got all the details on this. He knows this better than me, but I actually know Robin Reid very well. I know what went on behind the scenes. And to be fair, Robin was retiring, but he said to me, if I'd have been told, I wouldn't have done because I'd have said, here, I've just lost against a drug cheat, so I should be fighting for the belt again. But the belt were parked up for ages, and Paul Smith and Dodson fought for it. And the rest, as they say, is history. Okay. What do you think about Don Charles coming out saying they want the Joyce rematch? Dubar Joyce.
I thought about this. I thought about this about a month or so ago. It might be good for Joyce, because I don't really know where he's going to go. At the minute because of that last beating he took from Zhang. So that could be a sort of stepping stone for him to elevate himself again. I'm sort of surprised that Dubois' team are interested in that, because that's almost like a step back. But maybe it's maybe that's all he's got. Sort of that maybe that's the only opportunity that they can see at the minute. I'm sort of still slightly surprised though, because like that win over Miller at Christmas time, he's kind of, everybody loved it. He did away with a bad guy. I would have expected Dubois to sort of go looking for another opportunity elsewhere. Did that not put him in line for something fighting Miller at Christmas time? No.
What did you say? Sorry, if who?
Did that not put Dubois in line for something after he fought Miller? No, or did I just?
Well, I mean, nobody's mentioning any dance partners for Daniel Dubois at the moment, but Joe Joyce fights Cash Ali in March, and if Joe Joyce beats Cash Ali, which is a favourite to do, I'd like to see that again.
I wouldn't say
a risky fight for Dubois, Jerry, isn't it?
Say that again, Russ. You broke up there.
Risky fight for Dubois.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like they've sort of started to carve out a new road after that Miller fight. So I reckon keep going down that road, but the well must be dry. Like if they're looking at possibly trying to avenge a defeat with Joyce, but then perhaps they're looking at that like Joyce his confidence is maybe sort of in the gutter now after the two Zhang beatings, and maybe they're thinking Daniel's on a high. They're also probably looking at Joyce and thinking he's getting on a bit. Daniel's riding high. Maybe they fancy it. Maybe they think he can take him. Like
Maybe.
not too sure myself. Like
Maybe. Well, I don't, it could be a pick and fight. It depends what Joyce looks like when he comes back, doesn't it?
I agree.
But DeBar will be coming into his prime now, and Joyce is over the hill and far away on slide, isn't he, really? So maybe Don Charles might be a bit out of order calling for Joyce now that Joyce is on back foot kind of thing, coming getting old.
That's what I think. I think they must fancy that, and that would look like a good avenging a defeat for Daniel. So that's probably the logic behind that. Maybe they think as well.
Same Joyce, though, Jerry, is it?
Say it again.
Not the same Joyce, is it?
No. And that actually is starting to make more sense now. The more I sort of think about it, and I reckon they think Dubois could maybe stick it on Joyce early before Joyce has a chance to kind of establish a jab and just keep sort of beating Dubois down.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yard Smith, they say it could be close for this Matchroom versus Queensbury show. Do you think Callum Smith's going to try and mop as much money up as he can now?
Yeah, I thought he was going to retire. Obviously not. That's been made quite early, that fight, considering it was only a couple of weeks ago from the Beterbiev fight. So he must be looking for one more cash grab. I think he gets beat by Yard. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Is Munguia pound for pound? People are saying he is after beating John Ryder, but I'm saying he ain't.
I see why people are saying that, but I wouldn't say he is either. Not yet.
He needs a few more wins, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, 43. What is he? 44? No, I can't remember.
Something like 43, is it? Something like that, yeah.
I like that. I like that number. That's old school numbers. But stick him in there with Canelo and see if he can topple him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Usyk going to fall for Fury's mind games, or do you think Fury's wasting his time?
We've spoken about this before. Not a chance, mate. Not a chance. Usyk thinks Tyson Fury's a lunatic, but he thinks it's funny. That's the impression I get. I also think he knows he irritates Fury, and he knows that's an advantage. The mind games are absolutely pointless with Usyk. He just thinks Tyson Fury's a jester. Like he respects his abilities and where he's got to in his career, but that's it. I don't think the superior mental strength, I think, is with Alexander Usyk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why no statement from Boxer stroke Sky regarding Yui and Savannah and their next fights?
I have no idea what they're playing at. I mean, it's not very good for promoting their boxers, like that's a strange one. I'm not too sure why they haven't done anything regarding those two.
Well, it's strange, isn't it? Will Adrian Mowell do his budgeting on Taylor Catterall?
He could do. I mean, is Marshall not I thought Marshall was looking to do MMA now. No,
She's training with Andy Aspinall.
there's definitely some kind of rumor about that about
I
2 months back.
think it's St Helens, but she's still got to deal with boxer and that. So, well, her MMA fight's been cancelled, but there don't seem to be anything from them at all.
Don't even know who Marshall goes on to fight like either.
I don't know. It's not looking good for them, is it?
No.
Yui's inactive a long time as well now, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel a bit. Well, I don't know whose fault it is, but I mean, I'm inclined to say I feel a bit sorry for Huey.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I know he was having health problems. But I was led to believe just from interviews with Peter Fury that he was on the mend and that he would be back. But I mean, I don't mean it to be like shoot down what Peter has said, like, but how many times have we heard that? I've heard that quite a few times. Like, you know, Hugh's better now. He's going to come back. But we haven't really seen anything, have we?
No, it's quite worrying, isn't it? It's getting left behind, Yui.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what was fantastic about the break before. Time was on his side, but now it is marching on a bit now. Like,
Well, he's 30 this September, Yui. He needs to get a move on, doesn't he? They need to start sorting something out, don't they? Sky or Boxer or whoever.
yeah, I agree. Um, how long is he out of the ring?
I
A
think it's a good
couple of
couple of
years.
years now, yeah. It's over a couple of years now, isn't it? Let's have a look.
So he's bound to have no ranking then at all. So essentially, you're sort of almost building him back up again.
Yeah, it's Yui, 26-3, 15 KOs. Yui's not fought for 3 years this October.
That's a crazy layoff. Like,
So, and there's no
shocking.
penciled in up to April. So he's 2.5 years out at ring in April. It's not good, is it?
No, it's a shame. But I mean, maybe we don't know all the facts.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on. You know, in his everyday life. Do you know what I mean? So
Well, let's hope that whatever's going on that they can sort it out. All right, then let's just go through these. Then what we've got left, 12 minutes. Tommy Fury's dad's come out and said that Tommy's never going to fight as a pro boxer again. There's no money in it. It's misfit shows only. What do you think to that?
that I'd be embarrassed at that, but they've weighed that up. They know Tommy Fury's not going to cut the mustard as a pro, and they're
Yeah,
just ripping the ass out of it. They're just gonna take the misfit money. And sure, he's a millionaire. Um, he's made a boatload of cash. But I mean, I would personally, I would want to plow that furrow, like as a novelty boxer. I'd want to aspire to be like my big brother if I was Tommy Fury. And you know, well, I don't know, like I don't know if the guy if he's like clever or whatever, like, but I get the impression that his career is being, mapped out by his dad and whoever else is around him. And they know he's not going to cut the mustard. So they're like, look, son, this is what you can do. And it'll be easier than getting punched about, by proper professionals. You're going to have your health completely intact, but still make a load of money. You know, the worst that's going to happen to you is you get embarrassed by somebody who's not a boxer.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Shannon Briggs wants to fight Mike Tyson now in
Oh
Saudi.
Jesus!
Brooklyn versus Brooklyn. Brooklyn in the house.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, we don't
Who
really
gives a
care.
shit?
Okay. Hamzah Sheeraz, 18-0, 14 by way of against Liam Williams, 25-4-1, 20 KOs, age 32 next. Who wins?
Sheeraz.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Sheeraz. I like Liam Williams, but it's got a brick top feel to it. The kid on the rise and the kid going out the door kind of thing. But he's back with Gary Lockett, according to Dev Sarney. Dev Sarney, pull your tongue out, will you? Stop it and rinse your mouth out. You're embarrassing. He is like the worst company man I've ever seen in boxing. I thought that Johnny Nelson were bad. I thought Darren Barker were bad. Bellew's shocking, but Dev Sarney, you are the worst company man I have ever seen in boxing. Hang your head in shame, you little goonie.
You should send him some TCP, Russ.
Have you seen his interviews, that Dev Sarney? He's like a little thing that you wind up in it. You know, like a little toy thing. You wind him up and he just spouts the same PR. He's one of them people with an education that just spouts utter spouting. He's embarrassing him. He's like a program cyborg, isn't he, Dev Sarney?
Yeah, just talking shit.
Talking
Company shite.
Company shite. Yeah, he's embarrassing. He just can't see the other side of the coin. He's in love with Queensbury and Bricktop. And Dev Sarney, another thing while we're at it, can you stop going on about that AJ thing, where that presser? It's become boring now. It's months ago. Move on. Boxing people don't want to hear you. Every time they see you, we don't want to hear what your relationship is with AJ. You think she's a prick? I've heard back. You weasel.
Doesn't
Right.
surprise me at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, AJ's a roadman, isn't he? He's been 2 weeks in jail. He's not going to put up with a little weasel like that, a little Queensbury weasel. Go make Bricktop's tea. He's like a worse version than Frank Smith.
I was just about to say that, Russ.
At least Spotty Frank's got a bit of edge to him, and it pretends to be a bit of a geezer. Do me a favour, you little weasel, Dev Sarney. Right, I'm not buying into this Liam Williams as with Gary Lockett and all that, stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. And he's gone back to Gary. He's gone back to Gary Lockett because he wants to be near home. He don't want to be up here. He's had enough trainers now. Well, it is what it is. He's just mopping a few crumbs up, and he'll be tarmacking in 2 years. Liam Williams. He's a nice kid, but he'll be tarmacking or doing a bricklaying course or something.
That's a shame, but that's where he's at. That's a shame, but that's where he's at in his career, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where he's at, mate. Johnny Horsecock Nelson. He's starting to sound like he's talking a bit of sense lately. Do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. Has he had enough of being, a licker, or is he decided to come out with stuff that's really what he thinks?
I think,
or has someone told him to do that?
I think he's flourishing now that Bean's gone.
You think?
Yeah, I think so, Jerry. Do you?
Well, there's no doubt about it. When was it? January? About 2 months ago, I noticed he started. I was like, what's going on here? He's actually making a bit of sense. And there's been a real trend I noticed just in his interviews, and it's refreshing because it's not making you feel sick with some of the bullshit that he used to come off with,
Oh God. You know
so
what?
It's welcome. It's welcome.
You what?
It's a welcome change.
Yeah. Johnny's impressing me lately, but then again, Johnny always seems to be in a good mood lately. But he will be, won't you, Johnny? Because you've got about 5 bitches on go. If you get 2 more, Johnny, you can name them by the day, can't you?
Oh my God, does he really? Is that what you've heard?
They reckon he's going to be next James Bond, don't they? Horsecock.
One thing I admire about him, though, he's still in real good shape,
Don't tell him that, man. His head's big enough as it is.
Holy fuck, is he listening? Johnny, you're in good shape.
Don't you worry about that. I'll stick a thumbnail on it for him. Shall we stick a Johnny thumbnail on it? Now, I think I've stuck enough Johnny thumbnails on videos the last couple of days. As you'll see, I think there's about 10 videos backed up, but they'll all be coming out. shortly, but there's some good ones. Trust me, there's some good ones. Other than that, are you all right, Jerry?
Yeah, just a bit knackered from work. Even though I sit in my arse all day and move my mouse about, but just a bit tired. What else have we been up to? Not been up to much really. Looking for a new kitchen at the minute, so
Yeah.
doing the whole showroom thing, going around looking for kitchens.
Jerry,
What
have
about
you
you?
been saving up? I'm all right, man. Fantastic, mate. Have you been saving up, Jerry, for a new kitchen, lad?
Well, I'm supposed to be getting married in 2 years, so I've actually been saving up for the wedding, but we need a new kitchen because the one we've got at the minute's falling to pieces. Like so.
Well, listen, I'm going to give you some good advice, Jerry. Dip into your savings and buy a Gillette sensor and deal with that Magnum tash on your face. Get that Aussie shaved off. Eh?
No, I mean I threw out my Mac 3. I just use a big single blader.
Does your lass like that tash, Jerry?
Uh, she must do because I've had it for years. So
Oh, go on, Jerry. Pop, pop, bang. Hey. Go on then, Jerry. Listen, I'll let you get off. Listen, thanks for coming on. You're welcome on any time. You've only got to text me. You don't have to wait for me to say, how are you, Jerry? You can text me, I like you, Jerry. You're likable.
thanks very much, Ross.
Give your
Appreciate that,
missus
mate.
give your missus my best and get my invitation in post when you get married, pal. All right?
No worries. No
Come on
worries.
and see you. All right, mate?
Yeah, it'd be a good wee trip for you to come over.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Ireland. I've never ever been to Ireland. You know that?
Well, you could have came for the fights on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah. But I'd rather come to your wedding, Jerry, because there'll be free booze there, won't there? Be Guinness there, won't there?
There'll be booze there. Yes, there will.
All right then. Will you be playing in your band on night, Jerry?
Oh no way, no.
Is that your
But
stag do?
I'll be behaved like though, because my mum and dad will be there, right? So I'll be on my best behavior probably.
All right.
I'll
Well,
enjoy myself, but I mean I'll not be going nuts.
listen, you take care, Jerry. God bless.
All right, Russ, take it easy,
Yeah,
mate.
bye bye.
Chat again, mate. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh, that was Jerry from Ireland. Lovely fella. Women love him. Men want to be him. I think it's the hair. He's a lovely fella. He speaks very softly and nicely. And with a bit of luck, before Jerry gets married to his sweetheart, we might get rid of that muzzy. All right. Because he's giving Terry McDermott a run for his money with that, isn't he? And Tom Selleck. Okie dokie. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. I'll leave you with a quick look at Hunk after he'd been crying his eyes out in police station before they took him down and fingerprinted him and took his mugshot. Look at that. Big OG. Eh? Big fighting man. In the ring or on the hard road. Pop, pop, bang. MI5 are watching me from the moon. 140 kilo bench press. Cold. And don't forget the other one. 200 kilo deadlifts with his Corey. One piece out.